So here we are. I'm making an important videos now. Um, it's my birthday on Friday and I feel terrible about it. I'm feeling incredibly low because I just want to die. I just can't cope anymore. I really can't. And every day there's a little bit more of me wanting to die, and more unhappiness, more loneliness. It builds every single day. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. And every day I'm closer to topping myself. And this is the honest truth. I think about walking in the sea in West Kirby. I think I can do it in a hot day when it's quieter at night, when there's no one around. Just keep walking in because I can't swim very well anyway. And you'll soon bloody sink. But that could be a bit horrible. The slashing the wrist thing isn't very nice, is it? You know what I mean? It's just that I don't know how to do it so I don't end up in a bloody dirty NHS hospital, that's all. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm feeling gutted about that. Um, and I'm not eating, I'm living off Ensure. I'm lucky if I ever see food, it's that bad. You think I'd be anorexic by now, wouldn't you? It's terrible. Anyway, so these are some important points that I want to put on here. St. Vincent de Paul, it's called, Society. It's a church movement, a Catholic church movement who are meant to help people. Meant to, being the operative word. Ah. Anyway, I probably round the countryside, all over Britain they work. I'm sure other places do help. The Wallasey ones wanted to help me. So what happened was they had an anonymous call. They called me, this woman, and she said her name was Sheila, and I think it's Sheila or Shirley or something. And she said, "We're very concerned about you. We've had a report. Can we come and see you?" And she insisted on meeting me in Birkenhead McDonald's. So I said, okay, we're going to help you and all this, but they want to see you first to see whether you are genuinely in need of help. So I turn up in Birkenhead McDonald's, thinking at least I'll get something to eat. All I had was a Diet Coke with them. Oh my God. Anyway, she was very nice. There was another woman with her. They were very nice, don't get me wrong. They said, "Oh, you are in a poor way." "Well, we'll definitely," she said to me, she promised me, "definitely get someone to sort this out. My dreadlocks, my hair, they'll sort that out. We'll get you to a salon. You'll feel lovely and fresh." She promised. It's not "we'll try." She promised. "And you'll get money because you're in need. You're really shabby and everything. You're in need, and you haven't eaten, and we can see how genuine you are. You'll definitely get some money." And that's £100, I've been told. Anyway, nothing, heard nothing. Keep going and everything. And then she said, "We have to change you over to the Birkenhead one." Okay. Well, they're dreadful because I've been in there before. It's near McDonald's. It's a food bank where they have out-of-date food. Anyway, so they won't help me, basically. I'm trying to make it quick. So because it's been transferred now from Wallasey to Birkenhead, Wallasey help, Birkenhead don't help. All they want to give you is out-of-date cans. They refuse to do anything for me and give me any money at all. They're awful. The Birkenhead ones are dreadful. So that's the end of that scenario. So they're not going to help me. They've just left me in the lurch. She made me wait in Birkenhead bus station, a woman from there, on Saturday, for about 3 hours till this bloody man turned up. And all he gave me was 2 bags full of tins, and they were all out of date. And then she had the cheek to tell me that tin food never goes out of date. Luckily, there was a woman in the bus station. She binned them all, and she said to me, "This is going to be reported." She's taken it further. She's filmed me. She's putting me on social media because she's got the right platform. She knows what she's doing. I don't. I'm only on here with a few viewers. But she's going to help. She's going to expose it anyway. But the thing is, so all that for nothing again. And they can just fucking sod off. That's how I feel. I'm sick of these churches. And another thing is, they're the worst people out. So the only churches I've approached, because other people say, "Well, to the church will help." I'm never going to a church again. I'm atheist anyway. Anyway, so I go to, there were 3 altogether that I've been to on the Wirral. And those are the only ones you can go to that I've tried. One was a woman took me into it again. And this first one was in Upton. And I think it's St. Mary's. I might be wrong, I don't know. And there was a woman there who was very nice, very concerned about me, wanted, she actually, it was late, we went in that time. She took me and got me food herself. That was brilliant. Anyway, they contacted me again. The vicar's concerned about me, but he rung here to find out why, if I'm in a supported living complex, I'm not getting support. And goodness knows what rubbish they've stuffed him up with. But they said that I was a liar, basically, because I have a social worker who is feeding me. Have anyone seen the film Clockwork Orange? Because if you have, you'll know where I'm coming from. I'm the man in the wheelchair. When he hears Alex singing in the rain, and he comes back again, he's in his bath and he's going singing in the rain, and he's the one that put him in the wheelchair. Well, that's how angry I feel. Feeding me? I haven't seen him since bloody well months ago. And the thing is, the last time I saw this social worker, they changed me to another one who's not as bad as that other dreadful woman. I saw her, she's a pleasant enough woman, but nothing came of it. And she met me in a cafe in West Kirby, and I had to sit there while all these people are eating gorgeous toasties and jacket potatoes and cottage pies, and I'm starving, and she knows I haven't eaten and all this, and all I got was a cold drink. And then the thing is, they just, I mean, it's terrible. I can remember when I was forced to meet Greta Lyons, and that was on the Wirral, that was in Haswell, and she was from social services every week, and my mother made me meet her, and I didn't want to, because, I was only about 30 then, and I didn't want to meet an old woman, and I found it boring, you know what I mean. She said, you have to, and you will get presents, because that's what my mother was like, she to bribe me. Goodness knows what I was bribed with to meet her. Anyway, I put up with it, and I met her. But she always used to buy me a drink and a cake. She always used to say, pick a cake and a drink. All I got was a cold drink, and I hadn't eaten. And everyone's saying that social services are meant to provide food. Well, she told me that she doesn't, and that they don't. So I'm putting it on here now because she said that, and everyone else says go to them because they're the ones meant to provide it for you. But they're not. But other people think they are. These churches do. Because they rang here and they've told them I've got a social worker. And they said, oh, you've got a social worker. You're being well looked after. And if you're in a complex like that, you'll be getting 3 meals a day. Well, I'm not. I'm not getting anything here. You don't get anything here. You're in a flat on your own. But I don't think they told them that because they wouldn't be allowed to lie. So they've surmised that part. Anyway, the church has surmised that part. Anyway, so we go to church number 2. And this one is in Hoylake. And the woman in there, the first time I went in, she was very pleasant. A woman took me in off the street in a desperate state. She gave me 30 quid the first time. She was lovely. And told me to go back any time for help. And I felt really good about this. This was a long time ago, well before Christmas. And I felt, relieved. Anyway, I didn't like to bother them. But when I went back, she'd rung up about me again, either the council or something, to report the state I was in. And they said, she's fine. She's in a supported living complex and she's got a social worker again. So the word social worker means that this woman is meant to be going out every week, buying me a pile of food and looking after me, probably taking me to the hairdresser, taking me to the cinema, taking me for a meal, buying me new clothes, really looking after me, doing the job of a parent. Anyway, they think that this is happening when it's not. Nothing is fucking happening. I'm not getting any help whatsoever. And as for supported living, there's no support here whatsoever at all. I've never felt so lonely in my life since I've been in here. I'm very unhappy. Anyway, that's besides the point. There are no meals being served here. You're in a flat on your own, and it's up to you to get your own meals. And I don't know where they get the idea that I'm in some nursing home, I'm on 3 meals a day. Jesus, you'd be better in a prison. At least you'd be on 3 meals a day. Anyway, I've just had enough of it. Anyway, so the thing is, so that one, so she was horrible to me there, so I'd never set foot in there again. And the last chance saloon I went to was one in West Kirby, because I always hang about West Kirby. And they were dreadful in this one. And this is the one opposite. These are really horrible people. This one is opposite, what's it called, Aldi. And so he rung up for me because I had put my phone into cash converters and everything, the council and things, and he couldn't get through. So he said he'd get through afterwards, gave me some Morrison's vouchers and all this. And he told me to come back. That's what they're there for. And I said I felt a nuisance. No, they'd help me. I go back. They refused to help me. They said that I've got a social worker and I'm with social services. They're the ones helping me. Goodbye. So churches who are meant to help you don't help you. And this is what it's like. So I'm never setting foot in one again because I've tried a few. It's not as if I haven't. So don't say I haven't, because I have. And this is the result I'm getting. Then people have reported me to this SVP movement who are meant to help. And I've heard good reports about them in different areas. Well, in Wallasey, if I'd been living there, they'd have given me £100 and taken me to the hairdresser, she said, and then kept in contact with me and helped me again. And now this lot, Birkenhead, are dreadful. I've been in there, SVP, it's called, and they are horrendous in there. This horrible man was meant to deliver a microwave here, and he never did. He never bothered. They've got Manky cans that are all out of date. One said 2018. She's put it on the thing and she's filmed that anyway. 2018, like 5 years out of date. And the woman had the cheek to tell me that tins never go out of date, so it's safe to eat, even though it's saying 2018. Well, why would it say it on a tin if it wasn't? I mean, bloody hell, I could have bloody food poisoning. You're bloody dangerous, these people. I'm telling you. And what that man had said, the rumour going around about St. Vincent de Paul is, the fact is they get the stuff donated to them and they take the good stuff themselves and bring the stuff from their own pantries. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. But that's what the gossip is about that food bank. Probably other food banks aren't. If you're getting stuff that's in date and decent stuff, maybe you are. Because I can remember once, the Chester one, they brought it to the hotel and it was bloody irrelevant because how could I do a tin of soup in a bloody Premier Inn? But I can remember they brought it to me and it was good stuff. I went into that food bank in their church. It was like a church hall, but a proper food bank. And she had different shelves and said, pick this off each shelf. And it was good stuff she had in Chester. So it was normal stuff. She even had hair dye. She had everything. Soap. You could pick so many items from each shelf, which was fair. Now in there, they just give you a bag. You don't get a chance of what you're picking. Just a bag full of shit. I mean, it's terrible. Give me a toilet roll, loose, not covered, with brown fingerprints on it. I was like, it's come out of some bloody public toilet, I expect. I was like, gagging, you know. And I said to the woman, put it in the bin like that. I said, like that, you know. And this is what it's like. That's St. Vincent de Paul, Birkenhead, dreadful. And they've got the most horrendous woman from CAB in there. She's a real bully. She's horrendous working in there. I'd never set foot in there again because that time I came out, I couldn't run, but I walked onto the thing, walked straight in front of a bus because I wanted to kill myself because they'd upset me so much. And I remember getting a tin and throwing it across the street. And I was so angry with them and their fucking tins. And I came out of there in a terrible state. And this, I think it was a man in that place pulled me back and calmed me down. But I mean, it's terrible. This is what you're up against with them. And Donna will vouch for it because she never uses a food bank again. She said she'll have nothing to do with them. But I mean, the thing is, it's awful. And it's not just that. It's wicked. The worst thing is the lies and broken promises that they give you. They keep lying to you, promising they're going to help you. It's wicked when there's someone as desperate as me. And I'm thinking I'm getting my hair done. I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting 100 quid. I can get a lot of shopping with that. Make it more pleasurable. It's my bloody birthday on Friday. I'll be lucky if I see food on that day. I'll be on bloody Enshaw crying my eyes out in Park Bench in West Kirby all day, no doubt. Like I usually do. I mean, it's terrible. It's bloody horrible, my life. I'm not living. I'm just surviving. And I don't know what the fucking point I'm surviving for. If it was easier to kill yourself, I'd fucking have done it, I'm telling you. Because people think, oh, why are you still alive? You're not suicidal. You're calling out for help. I am calling out for help. That's why I'm telling people I'm suicidal. Not that anyone gives a fucking shit. Oh, yeah, and then they tell you that they have to do, oh, if you're feeling suicidal, we'd have to do the safeguarding. That's what they call it up here, because that's what Liverpool sounds like, you know, when they tell you. And that means safeguarding. So what they do is they either pester an ambulance or police to come out and see you. Then the police would usually come out. And then they say, I'm sorry about this, I know it's a nuisance, but we just have to check that you're safe and well. Well, I said, I'm not at all well, and I don't know if I'm safe, really. I feel suicidal. They just seen you. Are you intent on killing yourself in this moment? So I said, well, not on this moment. No, well, that's fine then. Tick, tick, fuck off. And that's all that happens. So what is the bloody point of that when people are getting murdered and raped and they need them? And they're sending one out to do that. Waste of time. And when they send an ambulance, that makes me angry. When there's stroke victims and people having heart attacks and they're waiting hours, old people on the floor that have fallen, things like that, people who need the ambulance. And then they're sending it out for me. When I'm hungry, that's all I need. I'm calling out for help. Feeling suicidal because I'm bloody hungry. That's the reason. I'm bloody starving and I'm living off Enshaw. I've just had enough of it because I've got zero money because social services are not helping me at all. Nobody's helping me at all. I've been dumped in this place where I'm left on my own and I have never felt so lonely in my life since I've been in here. It's horrible. and then you've got no help whatsoever. Nobody's helping me at all. And I really wish that they would introduce euthanasia into this country, because I definitely get myself passed. They would pass me. I'd make sure I was bloody passed, because all you do is a needle in the arm and you're out of it, like a dog being put down. Like Cerberus in Corrie this week, the poor thing. He's lovely. Put to sleep and he was like that and he went to sleep. That's what happens with it. But no, trying to kill yourself is no easy joke. It's not easy at all. And it's creepy and it's weird and it's too much for you to take on. You need help, and seeing they don't want to help you, they're leaving you starve in this mess. Why it's kinder to introduce euthanasia into the country and get rid of us then if you don't want to help us. All of us that are on benefits who are treated like a lump of shit. The government just bloody well let us have a chance to pass over gracefully. Because we're not getting a quality life. Donna's in the same mess exactly as me. She's the only other person that I can really relate to. She's got no money at all for food. She's like me, starving. Hand to mouth, as she said. It's horrendous. Gas and electricity being cut off all the time with her because she's on a meter. And what's happening with her is they are paying for that, though. The council are paying for it, but they keep cutting it off, and she's going to wait a day or two before they keep putting it back instead of sorting it out. Do you know what? It's terrible. And I've got, as I said, I'm minus 500 with about 17p in the overdraft. It's not going to change because no money's going in. All the money goes to the benefit, to the storage units, and I don't see a penny of it now. And I'm in a hell of a mess, and no one's helping me. And then I'm crying on benches, and sometimes people are feeding me. There are some kind people that come from nowhere. Sometimes you can go all day with nothing, and some days a person will come up and give you some money, and you say, "Are you sure?" Or go and get you fish and chips, or go and say, "What would you like?" And I said, "Are you sure?" Because you feel so ashamed. And this is how I'm living my life, and I don't want to be living my life like this. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. But there are no help out there, and people say, "Oh, there's help. Social services. I'm sick of hearing that fucking word, social services. Because they do not help. End of. Because they don't. They might have done years ago, but they don't anymore. The ones I'm dealing with don't. Not on the Wirral, they don't help at all. They say they don't do anything with food. Mind you, in Sefton they did. She got me a McDonald's in the middle of the night. I asked her about that when I was starving. Once I rung through, "Oh no, we can't help you." And then they're telling people to ring the police. I'm starving and feeling suicidal, and I'm starving. And then, "Can't you get something to help this lady?" People have been ringing through to me to social service. "Oh, I'm getting through to social service." I said, "They won't help." "They will help," they say. They get through. I've had a few people ringing for me, and they've told them, "Call the police on her." They said, "Why would we want to report her to the police? She's not done anything wrong. The police won't feed her." Well, that's what social services are telling people to do on me. And that's why it's going on here now. Anyway, the woman that I met has some power with different people, that she knows different people. She skinned herself, but she's offered me food from her own cupboard, and I've said no, I didn't want to put her out. But she's in a mess herself. But she does a lot of charity work, fighting things and demonstrations. And she's going to, she knows some contacts, and a man's meant to be meeting me on Wednesday. He's going to film me about all this, the way I'm being treated and how I'm being abused by the council and no one helping me. And so it's going to go in the right place where people can see it. Because I get a few people watching here, but nobody really watches me. Probably some teenagers, I don't know who you are, but no one's actually helped me. No one's watching me much. It's just, you know what I mean. But I need some proper help. And I am not getting any help. Neither is Donna. Neither are quite a lot of them. And they're making films about this. They're putting it all on the thing. She said he's a media guru or some weird word. I don't understand it. And he's going to do that. And then she's got another friend who's a councillor for Manchester area. And then there's another one that's an MP. And they're all going to see me. And she said they're meeting up on Wednesday or something with her, and she's going to take me to them and sort something out. She said she's spoken to one of them, and they said they want to see me because I'm a prime example of the neglect of the severe poverty in Great Britain now. So, which I am. I mean, it's terrible. I've been left on my own, and my mother was right. She wanted to suffocate me, take a pile of tablets herself, and take me out of the world. So she knew she brought me into the world. She didn't want to leave me in a terrible mess to be abused and neglected like this. And she was right. Because, okay, she might have done bad things and things. She's not perfect. No one's perfect. But she was right about that because she was a clever woman. And she knew nobody would help me. And she was right. Because it's only family that help you. Blood's thicker than water. And also money. If you had a lot of money, if I'd been left very comfortable, I'd be fine. I wouldn't need any help from anyone. Because you can look after yourself. Money cushions you. It makes you safe. It makes everything go away. All the problems go away. You wouldn't go near any scum like social services if you had money, would you? Let's face it. Duh. As if. Anyway, I certainly wouldn't be here either. Jesus. She threatened me with this, though, that dreadful woman from social services, the first one. She said, "You either go in there or you sleep outside." She'd given me the place of that place where people are getting raped and beaten to a pulp. And that's that YMCA in Birkenhead.